Hey, what is going on, Guardians? My name is TheBlackLink, hoping you all are having a wonderful, and restful Sunday evening. It should be around Sunday evening by the time this gets uploaded and you guys get your hands on it. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend, but I got some bad news for you. It's just about done, and Monday is right around the corner. 2 days is not enough. But I was playing a little bit of Destiny 2 today, and I kind of had a little bit of a thought, and I wanted to get it out on video and see what you guys had to say, and what your thoughts are on the way story missions work in Destiny 2. This is actually something that I don't really see much conversation about when it comes to Destiny 2. Granted, there are a lot of things to air quote, talk and discuss about in D2, but one of the things that I never really see mentioned are, of course, the way story missions are, well, repeatable story missions are kind of incorporated into the game. So right now, if you head to the tower and you head over to Ikora Ray, how many of you have done this in the past month or 7? You can actually replay a couple of story missions a week in the form of meditations. Now, at first, I kind of like this because it's cool. It's got a really neat setup. You go and you pick up the story mission from her, and then there's a little thing you go to standing right next to her. You activate the story mission, and then you play through it again. And, you know, it's really kind of a nostalgic thing going for me. Back through some of the story missions, it reminded me that the story wasn't half bad in Destiny 2. Well, maybe not the best written story, but it certainly was pretty fun to play through some of these missions. And it reminded me that it's kind of a shame that for whatever reason in Destiny 2, we don't have access to all of the story missions after we've beaten the game. You basically only get the story missions that are presented over at Ikora Ray. You can complete them, they give you some tokens, and then you can turn those in for rewards with the Warlock Vanguard. And I think that's kind of a step back from D1. Of course, in D1, you could replay any story mission at any time. It populated your director map. You could just select it and then head on into it. And I really don't know why they kind of took that away for Destiny 2. It's a bit of a head scratcher for me. I don't really see much of a reason for them to have taken that away other than just to streamline the experience. But, you know, as with things go with Destiny 2, I don't really see it as being a benefit of D2 over D1. There was certainly a lot of benefit to running certain story missions over and over again for whatever utility they had back in Destiny 1. I mean, how many of you can remember the Dark Beyond, you know, the "We've woken the hive" mission? You could use that for farming up bounties and all kinds of things. Shoot, I remember back in year 1 of Destiny 1 when they used to have the daily bounty system with the bounty bot. You guys remember that? And he'd have a different mission every day, like go take out this many Cabal Majors and Ultras, this many Hive Majors and Ultras, Fallen, all that kind of stuff. There was a different, I had it down to a formula. There were different story missions that you could run to get that stuff done really quickly and really easily. Like the first Mars mission was the one you use for Cabal and stuff. And I loved being able to have access to those story missions and the heroic versions of those story missions, or rather I guess I should say the hard version of those story missions, to run whenever I wanted to. It allowed you to re-see the cutscenes, to go through all the story dialogue and just explore the world space within that specific instance. And it's kind of weird that that's gone in Destiny 2. So I just wanted to take a minute or two to talk about the meditation system in Destiny 2 and how I think it could possibly change in the future to make it a bit more of a rewarding experience. Because right now, I don't really think a lot of people actually visit your girl Ikora over here in the tower and run these things. I know certainly I don't. I just kind of had an itch to jump on it today, and it happened to be a couple of my favorite missions in Destiny 2. You're seeing some right now. I do believe it's called like Unbroken or something like that. One of them's the mission where you go and you take Thumos the Unbroken. The other one's the one where you get the tank. That's one of the most fun missions I can remember playing, period, in Destiny's history. And it's kind of a shame that you only get to re-experience this sort of environment via the meditations. Not that that's a bad thing, but personally, I think that we had in Destiny 1 towards the end, they reintroduced the daily story playlist where it would cycle between, you know, story missions. You could just sit in it like a strike playlist and play story mission after story mission after story mission. And of course, they added modifiers to that. That's certainly something I would love to see come back in Destiny 2. But I don't necessarily think that the meditation system with Ikora has to go away. They could bring back the notion of having a daily story mission or a daily story mission playlist, and just put that as part of your director, maybe make it part of your weekly milestones, where you can just go in and you can just play through the story and through the DLC story missions and whatnot, and it could cycle out between normal story, DLC story, and stuff like that on a weekly basis, just like it did in the Age of Triumph with Destiny 1. They could add little modifiers and stuff like that as well. But I think the meditation system could be expanded upon a bit. I really like being able to go to Ikora and select whatever specific missions she has for that day or for that week or whatever, and being able to run them. I just think they should be handled a little bit differently. Right now, Ikora really only gives you her own set of armor and like maybe some Vanguard weapons and whatnot, but there's really not anything too unique about her entire facet of the tower over there. So I would love it if her loot pool was kind of added into the powerful engram loot pool. The same way you can go and run heroic strikes and get a powerful engram from Commander Zavala, or go to your flashpoints and get a powerful engram from Cade. I think they could change it so that the meditation system, rather than it just being, normal story missions that you can go back and experience, make them heroic story missions. They could bring back the daily story missions so you can go in and get whatever reward you get from that, maybe tokens or something. But then have Ikora run some special versions of the daily missions. You could even call them, just daily heroics or something like that. You could have them cycle through daily or weekly and make them something sort of like the prestige version of a story mission. That way, you go and you pick whatever 3 missions she has for you. Those missions are going to have a very specific set of modifiers on them to make them, more difficult or more fun to play. And then upon completing the 3, rather than just getting tokens for an armor set that you can buy from her anyway, maybe make it so that she has something unique to give you. Maybe make it so that she gives you your powerful engram for the week. If you complete 3 of her special prestige daily story missions in the course of a week, you get a powerful engram for her. That would at least make her a part of the weekly rotation. When you're logging on to Destiny 2 on Tuesday after reset, you do your flashpoints, you do your heroic strikes, you do your PvP, you visit Shaxx, you visit Cade, you visit Zavala, but you don't really have much of a reason to visit Ikora, and I think that's kind of a bummer right now. And so, like I said, I think just bumping up her meditation so that they give you some special modifiers. Maybe they're a little bit more tough. Shoot, you could even make it like the Prestige Nightfall where you can select the modifiers you want, maybe add a score modifier or something to it. But, just make it sort of like the heroic strikes. You got to run 3 of those, you get a powerful engram for the week from Zavala. It could be something as simple as that from Ikora, and you could put it on top of her normal loot pool. I don't know, just something like that to kind of incentivize players to actually going back and playing through some of those meditations. I think it's a fun system, and I really enjoyed going through some of these story missions. Again, I kind of just got up today and decided to go and check her out and see what she had, and it wound up being kind of fun just running through these and getting some of my favorite story missions from D2. Shoot, they could even expand upon the whole meditation thing and have her bring back, I don't know, maybe some D1 missions or some D1 areas that you can only access through those meditations. Or not, I suppose, if they were to bring back some of the D1 patrol zones. I wouldn't want that being locked to any specific content. I want to explore that kind of stuff. But you get what I'm saying here. I think there could be more done with Ikora, and it's not really something I see a lot of people bring up. So again, I was just playing a bit of it, and I wanted to spitball a few ideas out for it, because I think there could be something done here. The system it's already got is nice, it's okay, it's functional, it works, but it's not really a priority amongst your weekly activities on Destiny 2. And I think adding your girl Ikora to the weekly powerful engram grind, alongside giving her maybe some more unique rewards. I would love it if there were a meditation exclusive exotic that you got after completing a specific amount of meditations or leveling up enough with her. That's the kind of stuff I want back in Destiny 2. And of course, maybe bring us back the daily story mission playlist outside of all of this, because it's weird that we kind of can't select any of these story missions. I had completely forgotten about the fun of the Unbroken and Payback mission in particular, where you get the Drake tank and you're just tearing everything up, and it's kind of a shame that I can't just go back and enjoy that whenever I want. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the meditations. Again, I was just playing a little bit of it and I thought, man, this is okay, but it could be better. There's so many things I can envision for it. And I'm sure you guys could too. Be sure to leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you play meditations? When was the last time you actually ran one of these story missions, and how would you like to see them change? Be sure to let me know. But it's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. And make sure you have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. Or if you're watching this on Monday, rest in peace. Anyways, I'm out for now. As always, I'm TheBlackLink. You Guardians, stay frosty.